Hey everybody, and welcome to another deck profile. I went to the Las Vegas Regionals this past weekend, and I took 19th place, and of course there were only 16 invites. There were something like 145 players, something like that, after round 2. And so, of course, it was a top 16 cutoff, and I didn't get my invite, just barely, because a couple people decided not show up. Last regional there was like 250, so we had like 32 invites. But I guess it happens, no big deal, I guess. But I actually played really well. So I played Paleo Frogs. So let's get into the deck list. I went 5-2-1, which is 16 points. I played 3 swap, 3 dupe, and 2 Ronin. This is just the standard frog engine. There's nothing really to say about that. 2 Lilith. I think in future versions I'm going to cut this down to 1. It comes, it's really nice to have just with like this plus a couple traps, or like the 4 traps or whatever. But if you draw it plus a frog, it really sucks because like you don't want to use your normal summon. But like this plus like Ronin is usually fine because you don't really want to normal summon your Ronin anyways. But like this plus like dupe really sucks. This plus like swap frog really sucks. But it plus like Ronin and then like a Dino is like a really good hand, plus like anything else. Speaking of, 3 Dino, 3 Olin, 3 Morella, and 2 Canadia. That's the Paleo engine that I decided to play for this event. Not really much that I would change here. I'm going to cut down Canadia to 1. I thought it was just going to be decent this format, and I think I was right on my call, because... yeah, I just thought that it was a decent choice. So I think in future versions, I'm going to cut Canadia to 1 copy, at least for this format. And yeah, so moving on to traps, I played 2 Trap Trick. This is what should have been the 3rd Canadia, or the Canadia should have been. It should have been a 3rd Trap Trick. I wish it was. I don't think it really made too much of a difference. I think a neat interaction with this deck list, if I would have played the 1 Canadia, I wouldn't have been able to search it. I don't think that ever came up, but I think it was kind of a neat little interaction that could have happened, I guess, but, that's alright. I played 3 copies of Lost Wind, so, yeah, I thought this was actually really solid. It worked out really well. Speaking of the Trap Trick, mine didn't come in the mail. Like, that's the only reason that I didn't play the 3rd. I didn't just decide to play 2. It just didn't come in the mail in time, and I had to leave, so it sucks, so. But, it happens. 3 copies of Gozen Match, 3 copies of Heavy Storm Duster, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, and 2 copies of Spiritual Swords. So this card was actually insane against like the Altergeist matchup or whatever, because when they would summon Meluseek, you would just flip this over, pay 1,000, you don't lose anything on your board, and it was just really solid. And then like when they went into the Link Karibo, you just summoned you used Lost Wind and brought it back. Brought like the trap back or whatever, and the next turn you got a negate for Faker. So it just like synergized really, really well. The deck just performed amazing against the Altergeist deck. I 2-0'd him. I'll go with my matchups. I'm just gonna do it off memory here in a minute, but yeah. 1 copy of Breakthrough Skill, 1 copy of Imperial Order. I never saw these cards. I wish I did, so I would have like decide what they would do or decide like how good they were. I feel like Breakthrough Skill could be good, but I'm not too sure. Imperial Order was pretty solid. It's always a solid card, so I feel like it's just a staple to play. Not really much else to say there. The last card I played was Waking a Dragon. I think I saw this 3 or 4 times throughout the day, and there was one time where it resolved. Every other time I drew it, I think there was one time I drew it and I set it and it never, I never went off with it. And the other 2 times, I'm pretty sure I just drew it and then I didn't use it and I just OTK'd the turn or discarded it with like Dino Mistress or something. So like it wasn't that bad. It definitely wasn't bad to draw. I definitely wouldn't play more copies though, I don't think, in this build just because I don't want to like see it. But it's just something to think about, I guess. Maybe I'll consider playing more copies, but for now 2 is fine. When it did resolve, I just summoned a Dupe Frog from the main deck, and then I already had Dupe Frog on the field with like my Toad, so I had like Toad 2 Dupe Frogs, and I just Dupe blocked my opponent so they can attack, so it was really solid. For the extra deck, 3 of the best card, totally awesome. This card, like, I think over the course of, like, the game or whatever, actually gets you, like, a +3 or a +4, which in card economy is just, like, insane, because, like, I guess that's a -1 to go into it, right? But then you're summoning 2 frogs from deck, and then, like, with, like, swap frogs effect and everything, and all that special summons, that's probably, like, a +2. And then, so like you're breaking even, you're going +1 with all the frogs, and then you're going +1 off of like swap frogs effect, and then you're going +1 off of the add back effect, and you can also go +1 off of the negation effect. Actually, it's +2 because you negate their card, they lose a card, and then you get their card, so it's a +2 in card economy. But Toe's just insane. In card value wise, you know, I don't think there's much to say there. 2 copies of Opabina. I only ever played one, like I only ever summoned one, so I'm gonna cut the other one for something else, probably a Starboy, because I feel like that's what I need to play. Because there was one time where I really wanted the 3rd Starboy, but yeah. Anamalakaris, this card was, when I summoned it, it was really good. Like, this against, like, Altergeist is insane because I feel like Toad is really bad against Altergeist for some reason. It's just, like, you summon it, like, once, and then, like, after that, you just want to go into, like, pure Paleo cards. So that's why this card was insane. They can't bounce it with Silk. They can't, like, negate it with Conquery. They can't, like, do anything with it, you know? They have to, like, negate the effects with, like, their trap cards and stuff, and it's just really awkward for them to play. But yeah, moving on to Link Monsters, I played 2 copies of Miss Starboy, 1 copy of Borrel's Sword, and 1 copy of Borrelo. These are the only ones that I ever went into. Nothing else to really say here. I should have played a 3rd Miss Starboy, but I didn't. And I was also thinking of playing Summon Sorceress, but I don't think it ever came up. Like, I ever, like, wanted to. Like, the situation never really came up. But yeah, the remaining 5 cards in the extra deck, I never summoned throughout the entire day. So I played 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Firewall, 1 Saryuja, 1 Majestic Star Dragon, and 1 Ultimate Falcon. So these 2 were the obvious Waking the Dragon targets. I'm going to talk a bit about these real quick. I thought Nightmare Phoenix would be good just because I could like link climb into it and hit a back row. It never came up. I wish it did, so I could like see. I probably will keep it in just for that specific reason. So you know, it's gonna probably stay in. This was for cherries. I never saw it nor summoned it because I never saw cherries. And this should have been the Akashic Magician so that I could bounce something while I'm link climbing into the Borrel Sword or Borrel Load. That was the whole idea. But this I didn't. I didn't get the Akashic Magician in time, and yeah, so I just decided to like throw this guy in, and I never summoned it. So nothing else to say about those guys. With these 2 against the FTK, this was the only card that was like I thought would be good because I could like set Waking the Dragon. If they hit it, I summon this, and then for like the rest of the duel or whatever, they have to worry about a negation board wipe. So I thought that was really interesting, and also the Ultimate Falcon just because Sky Strikers suck. But yeah, something that's kind of funny that I like heard against one of my opponents. I think like one of the last rounds is when I set 3 and passed. He thought I was playing Sky Strikers and he bricked, so that was kind of interesting. So I thought that's just kind of funny to me. I don't know. But yeah, moving on to side deck, I played 3 copies of Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. So I thought that this would be good to stop the FTK to hit Firewall. Never came up. I never drew it. I played against the FTK, but I obviously didn't like draw this, so I lost against it. That was one of my 2 losses, but yeah. 3 Evenly, 3 Mistake, 2 Dark Bribe, and Solemn Judgment. The main reason that I played these were to stop the Evenly Matched and to stop Red Reboot. I didn't stop either of them once with these cards. I don't know how I really feel about it too much. I feel like Mind Crush, which is my last card in the side deck, was way better against the Evenly. So, do what you want with that information, I guess. I'm definitely gonna play the Mind Crush though because I thought it was amazing. There were some times where like my opponent would like Twin Twister me and like target my back row. That happened once where they targeted the Mind Crush and I knew they had a Canadia in hand, like a Trickstar Canadia. Not Canadia, Candina. and so I mind crushed that out of their hand, and it was really solid. So yeah, there's not much that I would really change. I could probably like maybe change the dark bribes. I'm not too sure about that. I negated like a twin twister with it. That was kind of interesting. The evenlies and mistakes, like I feel like everything else was fine. I could play like draws maybe. That's like the only other thing that I'm really thinking of. This was the only like other hand trap. So like I just want to stop the FTK. Like I realized that like how much more dominant it was than I thought it would be. I thought that like okay, I could like lose game one, maybe go second game two, and then like set on my back row and it would like break the board. But like I feel like they just pushed through it really hard. So I definitely need to side hand traps against that deck, like cards that legit stop it, because the paleo cards are not enough to stop the FTK. I'm just gonna tell you that now. They pushed through it. Same thing with the Goki boards. I feel like he just pushed through it, or maybe I just drew bad. I mean, I did draw bad like game two, but it happens. I don't know. Let's see. My matchups were Trickstar. I think it was Trickstar Mech Knight, and then I played against Trickstar, or I guess it was Sky Striker Trickstar, and then I played against Altergeist, then Trickstar Mech Knight, and all of those three matchups I 2-0'd. It was over within 20 minutes. Round 4, I played against the FTK, and I lost 2-0. He beat me. Round 5, I played against, I want to say Cyber Dragons, and we went 2-1. He opened evenly matched every single game, but I was able to push through it with all my paleo cards. Something that's really interesting if you get evenly matched, I just want to point this out really quick, is that you destroy your own back row with your paleo cards. So I'd have something like Trap Trick and like I don't know, any like miscellaneous card like a Canadia, and then like an Olenoides set face down. And I would have something like this. And he would say, enter battle phase. And I'd say, all right. And he would say, attempt to end battle phase. And I said, all right, that's fine. Or I didn't say that was fine. I would say, all right, chain. Or not chain, but respond. I would respond with Olenoides, and I'd target the remaining paleo card. And they would both get destroyed and sent to the graveyard. That's why they're not, like, banished. And then I could, during the end phase of the turn, flip over Trap Trick, chain, Canadia. And then I would, like, set, just any trap that I needed at the moment. The most generic thing to set is just Morella, so you banish the Morella, send Morella, and then you can still activate a trap for the end of the turn, so you just flip over the Morella, send like a lost one from deck, and then change the Olenoides, and then you still have a Toad access. So it worked out really well, even though I got even lead, but I would still push through it, which I thought that like Trap Trick, that interaction and everything like that was just fantastic. It makes this deck push through evenly so much better. Let's see. So I played against Cyber Dragons. I went 2-1. I beat him, and then I went against Thunder Dragons, and we drew. I won game 1, and he won in life points on game 2. I was really stupid, and I negated one of his I think one of his Thunder Dragons, or maybe Batting Man Solar, and I put it in the middle monster zone, which is a bad problem because Mistar Boy points there, and so I couldn't make a Toad or a Paleo or any of those, and I was stuck under Gozen match, so I couldn't really do anything in it, like actually cost me the game. If I would have set it in a different zone, I would have made the Anomalakaris, I would have popped one card and then attacked for a little bit of damage, and then it would have been time, and I would have won the game. But I was just really, really dumb, and that happened. So just remember to, if you still negate with Toad, put it in the monster zones below the extra monster zone. That's just something that you need to remember. I need to remember. It was a severe misplay. Also in that game, if I would have played a third Mistar Boy, I would have been fine as well. Either one of those, if I would have switched the zone that I put it in, or if I would have played the third Mistar Boy, I would have been set to win that game. But because I didn't, I lost. So it really sucks, but it happens. So I'm not going to really like worry too much over it. But, just kind of bad plays on my part. Then I played against Goki, and I lost 0-2. Like, he beat me 2-0. that's all the matchups that I can really remember at the moment. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below and everything, and I will make sure to read them. Also, shoutouts. The main reason I'm doing this, actually there's two reasons. I just do this to like make sure that I can come back to these deck profiles later and see if I can improve. Besides that, shoutouts to my girlfriend Emily for coming with me to Vegas and everything like that. She got really angry when I did a different deck profile on another channel, the same list and everything like that. In fact, I'm gonna leave a link in the description to that video because the guy was super nice, and it's the same video, just shorter. But yeah, so shoutouts to her for, you know, because she was kind of salty that I didn't shout her out in that video, so I guess I'm doing it here. So anyways, that's it for the deck profile. Hopefully I'll do better next time and actually get my invite. So yeah, thanks for watching.